Hello and welcome back to Second Take Movies, the podcast where we give movies a second look, second chance, second take, if you will. I am your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jake Twido.
Preston, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
I do understand the words come out your mouth.
Oh, you said it better. You said it correctly. I was speaking it in straight white boy English.
You understand the word come out of my mouth?
Oh, boy.
What a movie.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the best movies ever made.
Before Brett Ratner was a piece of shit.
I thought that might be one of them boys.
Or he might have been a piece of shit the whole time, and he finally got caught at some point. But
I don't know. Chris Rock, Jackie Chan. Both those guys deserve a lot more credit than they get, I think.
Well, Chris Rock should not get any credit because this was Chris Tucker.
My notes. Okay, I've got Wikipedia pulled up. Okay, I'm gonna save myself. Wikipedia has Chris Rock.
Well, they're wrong. Somebody was fucking with you.
And I said it, and I went, "This is Chris Tucker."
It's Chris Tucker.
I'm not racist. I just read Wikipedia. I'm gonna send you a screen. I'm gonna justify myself right away. I always pull Wikipedia up, so I've got the director, the produced by, and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's why I always go IMDb. It's a little bit more reliable.
Yeah, well, sadly, I've got them both. That's what's even more embarrassing. God, someone did something good.
Like Rush Hour, like the poster of Rush Hour has Chris Tucker on it.
No, that's Chris Rock, bro.
We might splash it up on the video portion real quick, but
yeah, somebody, yeah, and also splash up the thing I just sent you. Save my soul here. I swear I'm not racist, but yeah, Chris Tucker, that guy. I can see where someone would find him annoying.
Yeah,
but they're wrong. Just gonna go ahead.
He's great in this movie.
I feel like this movie was meant for people like you and I from South Carolina, center part of the state. Like, we all know Chris Tucker. Mm-hmm. So,
and we all love Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Jackie Chan. Yeah. Well, I'll hold it. I'll hold more.
Yeah.
This movie's about the best friends in the world going on a magical trip throughout California to party out.
The actual story, a loyal and dedicated Hong Kong inspector teams up with a reckless and loudmouth LAPD detective to rescue the Chinese consul's kidnapped daughter while trying to arrest a dangerous crime lord along the way.
I want to make my first comment. Several strong comments, which I don't think you're going to disagree with. I understand the whole thing of making fun of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, we're dumb, we're loud. This movie does it perfectly and tastefully. The Chinese people here, they're pretty smart and they're pretty loyal, while you've got the loud stuff.
The third in this franchise is kind of like...
I can't remember it yet.
That's
Paris. The one... Okay. The second one I definitely remember, but the third one, not as much.
We got some short reviews this week. Bob Graham from the San Francisco Chronicle, with positive reviews, said this good-natured comedy is set off by the high spirits of its stars.
Was Chris Tucker anybody at this point?
Kinda. He had done a lot of stand-up at this point, and he had gotten his name out there. So, like,
Preston, that's Chris Rock you're talking about. Let me just back you.
Chris Tucker had been he had been in Friday at this point.
Oh shoot! Yeah,
maybe two.
For some reason, I thought that was after this. Yeah,
I don't know.
He's in Jackie Brown too.
Was he in Jackie Brown?
Yeah, he's in Jackie Brown. He's Beaumont,
and he had been in The Fifth Element too. Don't forget that. Which is that's a movie I've never seen. So that's the only.
You never seen it? Might have to watch that sometime.
Okay.
Because that's supposed to be one of the best movies in the entire world. I got some opinions. I'm not saying I didn't. I just got some opinions.
That's how I feel about The Last of the Mohicans. It's boring as hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bruce Dionis of The New Yorker said it's not much of a fun watch.
See, that's wrong. I watched this kind of in the background. I've watched it so many times that matter, but it's on the background. And today I really went, they don't make movies like this anymore. They don't make fun buddy.
No, like
they couldn't make this movie today. Probably. Let's be
mid-budget like fun movie is gone now.
Yeah,
Everything has to make $1 billion for some reason.
it's gonna be Kevin Hart and The Rock, and that's it.
Yeah, it's got to be like this super serious, weird movie, or some kind of horror movie, or Kevin Hart and somebody else in a boring movie.
Hey, I'm Kevin Hart. I'm short.
Yeah, it's like there's
yeah.
like the last one I remember. Well, actually, they made one recently with Ambulance. That was like a mid-budget fun movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Is it? That's good.
Yeah, it's directed by Michael Bay. And
Oh, I'm thinking of a different movie completely. Yeah, I need to watch that.
Yeah.
That is supposed to be pretty dang good.
yeah, that was made for like $30 or $50 million or something like that.
Well, this was a $30 million movie, mid 30 millions, made 244 in box office.
Well, that's $30 million in '98. So
Yeah. I don't know, man. This movie slams. The jokes are
awesome.
solid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a bad. I don't think there's a bad part in this movie. The actions we text earlier. It's Jackie Chan, who I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think Hollywood owes a lot more credit to Jackie Chan than they probably have given.
Yeah.
Because modern stunts is all Jackie Chan.
Like
That's
if
it.
you look at the way this was shot and look at John Wick, it's like, oh,
And they love him. I think a lot of the people that are in that come from Jackie Chan's.
yeah.
Somehow they're connected to his group. I wish I could remember his group's name.
Yeah, they actually did some of them. I think the main guy that right before he died, he did a lot of the choreography for Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just, I don't know. I feel bad. I think it's because he's Chinese.
mm-hmm.
But Jackie Chan, dude, I love that guy.
He like choreographs a lot of his own stuff and comes up with his own jokes on the fly.
And he kills it in this, and it's so refreshing to watch. It's not him at first. He's not the first main stunt you see, but I watched it and I went, that's a Jackie Chan stunt.
Yeah.
You know, like there's like a wall kick, a bounce, and pops up. Which, funny enough, Jackie Chan almost died in this movie.
I believe it. Like I feel like there's a story every time a movie of his comes out. It's like, oh, he almost died.
And I'm not rooting for someone to die. Not what I'm saying at all. But stunts like that, I don't know, man. That's just like, you can see it when you watch it. You're like, yeah, this is great. These guys are legit pushing a metal box that slammed a quarter second earlier than it should have on Jackie Chan's head.
Oof.
But,
that's why in every Jackie Chan movie, they all end the same way. They have the credits rolling, and it's all the wild bloopers and mess ups from all his stunts. And it's like, how is this man still alive?
Don't you miss that? I mean, I remember a lot more credits just had bloopers at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when DVDs became a thing, we're not doing this in the theaters anymore. You got to buy the DVD for it. But it was so much funner.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of good things about Jackie Chan, but Chris Tucker, Martin Lawrence was supposed to play him. Eddie Murphy was supposed to play him. Dave Chappelle was supposed to play him.
Oh, wow.
Will Smith was supposed to play him. And Tupac was supposed to play him.
Oh. I don't know if Tupac could have done comedy. I heard he was a great actor, but
yeah, I could see that. I could see Dave Chappelle smashing this. I could see Eddie Murphy. It's not the same movie without Chris Tucker at all.
I don't think Dave Chappelle has the acting ability to pull this off. Like the speed and repetition of all the jokes that Chris Tucker gets off. I don't think he's a genius, but I don't think he could do that.
I wish I knew how much was ad-libbed by Chris Rock. Gosh, it's in front of me. I'm going to keep saying it. Chris Tucker. Let me just close this. I said it once. I mean, you know my Waikiki thing here. You know, I say it once, I'm going to keep doing it. But, I forgot how this movie started, though, until today. And they're back in Hong Kong. The last day of the British rule. And Detective Inspector Lee is hunting down people.
This movie came out right around the time that Hong Kong became an independent state.
Yeah, it came out the year after. Yeah. Which is where some people caught grief with this of like, I don't know. Whatever. Let me not get us in trouble by saying stuff I don't know. But the last day of the British rule, 1997, That's July. Maybe in first.
Mm.
Maybe July 1st. Yeah, it was because someone told me on my birthday, the 3rd, happy birthday. Hong Kong got their country back.
And then they became, I think in 2007, they became part of China again or something.
That sounds right.
Because I remember that. Because there was a girl when I was in college that was from Hong Kong. And you couldn't say that she was from China. She's from Hong Kong. And I was like, okay.
So weird.
Geopolitical stuff aside.
Welcome to the geopolitical hour with Jake and Preston. This is where we get canceled. Yeah, you get a nice fight scene. I mean, there's not a lot going on at the beginning of this.
It's just set up like,
story.
Somebody has some artifacts that are moving to the U.S. and somebody's trying to steal them.
But you do get the introduction of
Chief Inspector
Han.
Lee.
You get to meet Lee. You get to meet Han, who's the girl's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Griffin. Who, spoiler alert, he's the villain. He's Jun Tao.
Oh, yeah. He also played Falcone in Batman Begins.
That guy is great. Have you ever watched... it's a George Clooney movie, and I'm blacking out on it right now. It's a political George Clooney movie, which is Michael Clayton.
Michael Clayton? No, I hadn't seen that.
It's solid, man. It is gripping, but he's in it. But so it's funny to watch this guy having kind of similar-ish roles, but watching it now, I'm like, oh, yeah, of course he's the villain. I figured it from the start, but the first time I watched this,
it's like,
no, because all I cared about was 2 months later, you flash forward, Chris Tucker's driving his Corvette as fast as he can. And it was like, oh, this movie, what is this?
Yeah.
And it is great.
It slides into a parking lot and just comes out the gate, just every joke you can think of, just one after the other, and fast and talking, and it's great.
I tear up. I tear up emotionally. It's gonna be the dumbest thing I've ever said to you. I tear up emotionally, but not like I'm gonna cry, but it makes me really happy. But I still tear up when I watch that part because my brother and I rewatched the scene where he shoots the C4 out of the guy's truck and does that dance. My brother was dead set on I'm gonna be able to do that perfectly. I kid you not. Crap, I'm blanking on what the movie store in Pickens was. We broke that VHS, dude. We ripped it from rewinding it so much.
Yeah.
That's the first VHS I ever ripped, but it was fantastic. But the number of times we watched that. So when it came on, it was just like,
and yeah, so he's undercover. Well, we find out later he's an undercover cop. And he's trying to buy some C4 from this shady looking guy. It's like a guy that you've seen this guy before, but I couldn't tell you his name.
Sean Penn's brother.
Is it really?
I think that's Chris Penn.
Okay. I've seen him in a bunch of mobster movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's the certified fat mobster. I hate saying that, but that's
you need
what he plays.
Tubby gangster fella. You can hire this guy and he'll. Hey, what you doing?
Sean Penn's brother.
Okay.
And then Michael Penn.
But
a good dude's got a legacy though. Reservoir Dogs,
that's right. That's where I remember him from. Is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but that dude has been in some stuff.
Yeah. But these two cops see them talk, and they have no reason to go over there.
No.
No. It's just two guys standing at a trunk. You don't have any reason to pull your gun and say, "What are you doing?" But
they got what they deserved. You guys snooped a little too hard.
Yeah. So they fire on them, and Carter gets taken hostage. Guy eventually gets away, shoots one cop, and then shoots the other cop in the knee or something.
His name's Clive. Sorry, I couldn't remember it. Clive.
Right.
Clive Cobb.
And then he takes off running in the car, and Carter blows up the car. But the guy does. He rolls out the car beforehand,
Yeah.
and then
And he's
Carter shoots the
that scene
entire
of him
thing.
shooting that. Anytime he shoots a gun, is the most unhinged thing. I mean, it's flat out just. I've played Call of Duty. I'm sure I could shoot a gun. Pow, 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 pow.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, man. There's just so much perfection of
yeah.
the action matches the character, matches the actor.
And then he does that Michael Jackson dance, which, ooh, that's dated. That
Yeah,
hasn't
but Chris
aged well.
Tucker, pretty good friends with Michael Jackson.
Okay.
He was in some of his movies and stuff. But I think it was because of this. I think he enjoyed his performance, and
Probably.
yeah, I mean yeah, Michael Jackson, R.I.P. baby.
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
What a smooth criminal.
Yeah, criminal part.
but
Yeah, not so smooth.
I don't know, man. He walked in backwards, moonwalking. No one saw him coming. He just said goodbye. my father's name is Tito. That scene though of after this, he's in the police force and he's
Yeah.
bragging on how
He's just
good of a job he did.
telling the opposite of the story.
It's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, this is one of the best.
I had 15, 20 guys around me, and I laid that one down, and 2 idiot cops come up.
Dude grabs it. Hey, it's probably in the papers. Let me open up. Nah, it's not here. They're missing out. Like,
What? And then he gets called into, of course, he gets called into his captain's office, and says like, "Is this?" No, he didn't give him the job from the FBI yet.
No, he chews him out.
Yeah, choose him out pretty good.
Chews him out, and then you get the his partner is mad because he didn't include her. Because
Yeah,
he doesn't want one.
He doesn't like. That's his whole deal. Is he doesn't want to work. Is this where we get the story about his dad in this movie?
Yeah, it's later.
Okay.
But I do got to point out. I made comments earlier. My notes here say that Chris Farley was the choice for this movie to play that
what?
role.
Oh, really?
Then he died.
He was in the contention for a bunch of stuff, and then he died. Like
Dude,
they were
Chris
they were
Farley.
making Shrek at this point, and he had already recorded lines for Shrek.
Jeez Louise, you know how creepy that is to think about? They were making Shrek at that point. You're right. I didn't even.
We're 2 years away from Shrek. We're 2 years from the Matrix.
That's actually how I think about life. Is how many years away was I from Shrek at this point?
Yeah.
Get into my swamp.
Donkey.
I'm a donkey. I can't remember the connection. I guess we get the kidnapping at this point.
Yeah, she
where
gets
the
we
titular
follow,
title.
Yeah, we kind of we go over to the consulate's house and we see how he interacts with his daughter, and then he tells her he's going to pick her up from school. It's a real sweet moment. He's a kind of old to be her dad, but you know
how rad the villain, the perceived main villain.
Yeah,
That guy is a bad man. Like every time he's on there, I'm like, this guy's awesome.
yeah.
Oh, no problem. Rush hour. Boom.
Just
Roll them credits, baby.
Kills the bodyguards and takes the girl, and FBI shows up, and Counsel Han wants his main guy on the case. He wants Jackie Chan.
Did you notice anything weird? This is going to be really, really deep cut. And then went to that shot at the Chinese consulate. We talked about Batman earlier, some through the Flash. That's the original Wayne Manor from the 1960s Batman.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right, buddy. I don't read a lot of comics, but I can do some really weird deep cuts.
Okay, never noticed that, but I guess they would have just shot that in like a mansion in LA somewhere.
Yeah, that was
in the
it.
60s.
Also, one more realization. Sorry, this is going to be the rabbit hole episode because like I said, there's so many weird things. I was like, oh crap. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan were supposed to be in a different buddy cop movie, Lethal Weapon 4. But they didn't happen, and this is what they got.
So they went with Riggs and Murtaugh again?
I don't know why, but yeah, they did.
Not a big fan of Lethal Weapon movies.
Never seen them. I
I watched the first one and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I've seen parts, and I don't know, I need to
Ironically,
watch
my,
more.
my my grandmother, she loved them. She's the one that introduced me to Die Hard at 8 years old. So
Dude, she rules them, by the way, because that's the best
yeah,
Christmas movie the world's ever daggone seen.
it's not a Christmas movie, but
But it's
we'll
a good
move
thing to
on
watch
from
at
that.
Christmas.
It's fun to watch at Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie. Anyway,
I got one more ramble.
okay.
Because there's another thing I realized. Because I was like, man, this movie's so freaking good. I wonder what it's on Rotten Tomatoes. Then I checked. This film inspired the creation of Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah, the guy that made this, I hope I'm not offensive. I think he's Chinese and loves Jackie Chan, but you can't see a lot of Jackie Chan movies in the U.S., especially way back then. So he made this.
You mean the
site.
creator of Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, the creator.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, the guy that made the website itself.
Okay.
Um,
Big Jackie Chan fan.
Yeah, put this up 2 weeks before the film just so people could put a review up for it because he loved Jackie Chan that much and wanted Western people to understand how cool he was.
He's made out really stupid well.
Ooh,
he sold it to Fandango not too long ago.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird that a review aggregate site owns a movie ticketing.
Yeah,
service.
You know what that kind of sounds like? That kind of sounds like Joe Biden owning the voting boxes or something, dude. What I heard was the Hunter's Biden has this electronic laptops that he plugs into the voting boxes, bro.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah, I got to keep moving, dude. Putin is triangulating my location right now. Anyway. Freaking Pelosi hates me, dude.
Follow us for more stupid takes on stupid politics. FBI is involved. We bring in Inspector Lee hasn't showed up yet.
No, you get the greatest slam in the world. The FBI needs an LAPD cop to babysit them.
Well, they were first of all, they were like, well, let's bring a rookie down here to go babysit this guy from China. And then they were like, do we really want to do that to one of our guys? I was like,
and
LAPD.
Loudmouth boys running his mouth. And he's like, bingo, got him.
And they call the LAPD, and the captain's like, this is a disgrace. What are you doing? And he's like, Carter, come in here. You got a special assignment from the FBI.
I'm going to go and tell you right now. I remember the first time I watched this movie, I watched it from the midpoint forward.
Okay.
I don't remember why. Someone had it at their house. So there's a part of me like, man, this is so cool. And then later in life being a couple months, start from the beginning, this whole scene when he goes and picks him up to when they get to the consulate, dude, that is money. That is the funniest sequences.
Yeah.
And I made a note and I went, you probably can't do this today. Someone's going to get really offended by something here. Because there are so many, he's making Chinese jokes.
Oh, yeah. They're making jokes on each other back and forth.
I love it. It's awesome. I'm like, dude, if you offend everybody, you can't offend anyone. Go for it.
This would not make it through to wherever.
Which, I mean, he takes him to the Chinese theater and says, you might see somebody that looks like you around here, and walks away.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, gum.
Walks away. First of all, he says, oh, just like home, ain't it?
Hey, you know John Wayne? John Wayne. Oh, yeah. Dude, so Jackie Chan gets away from him, and there's a whole chase sequence here. He gets on that the tour bus. When he gets on that bus and pulls his gun out, and all the tourists see him, and he's like, I'm FBI, and starts posing. Ah, man. There is nothing wrong with this movie. That's all I'm going to say again.
And then, but Jackie Chan escapes on several buses and in traffic, gets in a cab, and Carter eventually chases him down, stops the cab, and gets him back in the car.
And then he goes to try and actually help him.
Yeah.
By taking him to.
Well, he wants to figure out what happened to the girl too, because he wants to show the FBI I'm not just gonna be a babysitter. It's a little bit selfish for him, but.
Preston, you remember that time Jackie Chan said? It's so funny to me.
Man.
That's when I went, this wouldn't fly, but dadgum, it fits perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, because Carter takes him around, I assume somewhere in Compton or somewhere like that, and just says, do what I do. Daps up a guy, says, what's up, my N-word?
And the guy said, what'd you say? And then in slow motion, Jackie Chan says, what's up, my
that
word? Dude, oh, my God. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is when everyone's going to go, that Jake guy's really racist on the podcast because he laughed way too hard at that.
Everybody laughed at that, dude. Everybody knows that joke.
Man.
Like,
just Jackie. Well, you know what? We missed out on I think I opened with it, but he gets off the airplane. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like,
well, Chris Tucker even said that was inspired by the first time that they met when they did like a table read for this movie. Because he was like, Jackie Chan was just sitting there, like they were planning out what they were going to do and they were pitching the movie to him. And he's like, oh, and like Chris Tucker's like, this dude hasn't said nothing yet. Like, does he understand English?
So I have not met Jackie Chan, but I was about 10 feet away from him in Atlanta once.
That's fun.
And it's one of those things where in the moment I was like, I need to stay composed. And then I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm going to go say hey to Jackie Chan. Like, I'm going to meet Jackie Chan. This is going to be awesome. And I got about 10 feet away-ish. And someone walked up and said, hey, Mr. Chan. And he said something. And they went, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? And the whole mood of the room just dropped. And it's like, well, not going to go say hey now. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
This is awful. That guy was really drunk too. That didn't help. But
yeah,
that guy was an actor. But
an actor like that people would know.
No, probably not.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know his name. He's a background actor, but he's been in a ton of stuff. He's in Hunger Games. He's in Stranger Things. He was in all the Star Wars movies, the last trilogy.
Wow.
But so he does good. But sorry,
come up to Jackie Chan and yeah,
it is so weird. I mean, it's like I saw him and it's just surreal. Like, that's Jackie Chan.
So
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Chris Tucker or Carter starts to brings him into the back room where they're playing poker, and he's acting like he's shaking down everybody. He's like, "Go outside,
cig of weed. What's this? Is this weed? It's a cigarette. That's a cig of weed.
That's cig of weed. You got a prescription for this? You better have glaucoma."
I do.
And then sticks it in his pocket. It's lit, and he sticks it in his pocket.
God, there's so many little things like that I made a note of that. That's brilliant. That's so on character of the guy. I don't know, man. There's nothing wrong with this movie. I'm gonna say it again.
That's not like an action that you write. That's just something that came to Chris Tucker's mind, and he was like, "Boop."
You taking shots because you should probably make some counts for every time I say there's nothing wrong with this movie.
There's nothing wrong with this movie. But it turns out that's Carter's cousin, who is not the best of dudes, but he gets a lot of information out of him.
Sick line too of, get your hands off me. Your mama gave me this suit. It's my favorite suit.
Why weren't you in church on Sunday?
I asked some business. It's just like,
they get the information that, hey, there's this guy called Junetown. I don't know if they hadn't got Junetown.
No, not from there. They get that from Clive later.
Yeah, there's like there's a guy that's buying up guns and property and all this stuff around town, and everybody's like,
and Chris Tucker's hungry.
Yeah.
So he stops at the daggum bodega. I guess it's not bodegas over there, but and handcuffs Jackie Chan, who rips the steering wheel off and then runs back to the consulate.
Yeah, he runs back to the consulate and
he takes a taxi because it freaks him out. There's a Chinese guy. Again, one of my notes is, dude, this is so racist sounding today. There's a Chinese man getting out of this taxi. We got to stop him. It's like, huh.
Well,
why don't you just call in front of him?
Out in front of a
Chinese consulate,
a diplomat's house, and he's got a steering wheel handcuffed to it. Like anybody with a steering wheel handcuffed to him, you're like, oh.
But I'm gonna tell you what, that steering wheel, that whole sequence.
Oh yeah, where he jumps the wall and makes it into the house and takes down the FBI, kind of.
And
then they're just cool with it. They're kind of like, but like they send him away, but they're just like, no charges pressed or anything. It's like the counselor's cool with it. So anyway,
yeah, but then Magic Man himself, Chris Tucker, shows up.
Oh yeah,
and he's in the tow truck eating daggum Oreos. It's just like this dude's got so much sass. I don't know, man.
He has so much unearned confidence.
Yeah, he's like, I'm here with the FBI. And like,
because when he first, like, if we can jump back to the first when he meets with the FBI, he just comes walking in there. Have we canvassed the area? Have we?
Someone's walking by with an earpiece and he touches them and goes, "I'm gonna need one of them right away, pronto."
Bring me one of those, yeah.
Oh, I wish I had that much confidence, dude. Like I don't care if I sound like an idiot. I just wish I had that much confidence.
So Carter gets reamed out by the FBI, and basically they kick him off the assignment, and they try to send Jackie Chan back to Hong Kong. Is this where Chris Tucker like talks with him on the plane?
No, that's way later. Dude, we have talked way too much about random crap because this is the beginning. Still, he the main guy, I'm blanking on his name, the consulate,
Counsel Han,
diplomat. Yeah, Han. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is like, what's going on? Who is this? And Jackie Chan says, "Oh, he's helping me out a lot. He's doing really good," and saves Chris Tucker's soul. Mm-hmm. To which they, Chris Tucker's like, "I'm gonna call somebody about this," and answers the phone when the ransom call comes through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then you get that whole setup. But I mean, that like, what a solid line! $50 million. Who you think you got, Chelsea Clinton?
Chelsea Clinton. Which is such a '90s joke that anybody. There's 23-year-olds that were born in 2000.
Preston. So for everyone listening, we're recording this on 8:30. This will come out before, and this is gonna not to get dark or anything.
This will come out the first week of September. But continue.
I had a conversation with someone, or overheard a conversation. I wasn't there. It was at the grocery store, and it was a younger person, and they said, "So wild how they came up with 9/11 from September 11th." And a Vietnam vet turned around and said, "What the hell are you talking about?" And they said, "Yeah, when you call 911, that's because of those planes that hit something, right?" And it was at that point I said, Yep. I'm officially old. People know none of my references. Chelsea Clinton doesn't exist.
Well, she exists. She's alive in the world. I mean,
I don't know. Clinton could have hung her too.
Oh God.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
They go on the hunt, but they go you get the first really big chase scene again, where they show up. Jackie Chan's like, "Don't let your people go. Don't do this." And I just love the confidence of, if you wanted $50 million, would you take a ransom drop there? I'm like, dude, that is very smart. But instead, they all blow up, and you get the chase scene, which he drops one of the igniters.
Yeah.
That's not the right word. Detonation devices.
Yeah.
But then that's where you reintroduce back to his partner, who says, "You could blow anything up with this. You could blow up this, or you could do C4. And then we go back to Clive in prison.
And he's like,
my favorite line of the whole movie's coming up. But
they get Clive out of lockup or jail or wherever he's at, and ask him and Chris is like, "Don't lie about me. Don't lie to me now. I know you know something about a little girl." He's like, "I don't know nothing about a little girl. And you sold something to somebody. What is this?" And he's like, "I bought you a little toy. You want to play with it?"
And then Jackie Chan squills him out of it, and we find out some guy named Juntao is
Juntao.
the one doing it, and you can find him at this restaurant. But one of my favorite lines is daggum Chris Tucker when the guy's walking away. "I'm gonna bring your fat ass a Happy Meal next time." Some cookies or a Happy Meal. It's just like, Someone couldn't have written this. Two white dudes wrote this. There's no freaking way.
There's no way they came up with half the lines that he said.
No, but one of the guys that wrote this did write some solid stuff, which I am looking at my notes and I'm too slow. He did come on, load. National Treasure.
Okay.
He did Taxi, which we haven't. Yeah, which
Jimmy Fallon's one movie.
So funny.
God, he's the worst.
Oh, the worst. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Conan O'Brien's the only real late night person. I'm just gonna go ahead and
and he's moved on to podcasts.
and it's dope.
Yeah,
love it, love it. Sorry, let me not detour you because I did that the first 30 minutes of this podcast.
That's fun.
So they now have botched a drop off for the money. A new drop off spot. They don't know about it, but they're gonna go sit out this restaurant, and you get the wonderful dance singing of the two of them.
Oh, we're talking about war?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could listen to Jackie Chan sing that all day long.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, God. You all.
You
all. It's y'all.
Dude, I sometimes when I'm, I see that face of Jackie Chan going, you ha, just stuck in my brain. But
absolutely nothing. It's great.
Never mind. We're good. I'm gonna save you an edit. But they go. They're staking it out. They go get food. Again, one of the wildest. Chris Tucker. Would you get me a box of grease? Hey, some chicken wings or something? What is this? And then he eats it, and he's like, "Oh, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good." Camo's hump.
Oh, use some hot sauce though.
And so they eventually Chris Tucker is like, "Oh, that's that guy that shot the bodyguards and took the girl and was at that empty warehouse where they picked up that detonator." They see him walking into the restaurant.
Yeah. They see him. So Chris Tucker decides, I'm gonna go in. You're gonna come in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just like that whole scene of him walking in that restaurant. Again, it's one of the funniest. Just
and
I need to see that's my brother, man, from another mother.
I'm his lawyer. All right. See, I come down here late at night. My wife complaining about the kids. Kids just shit all over the house. Like I'm here now. You gonna give me gas money? You got $5?
And then on the way, is this table taken? I'm gonna sit right here. Someone comes by. Y'all got eel? How is it? And then he's like, actually,
how's your eel?
How's the camel hump here?
How about the camel hump? And then somebody's coming with some food. And he's like, hey, come in with that. Oh no, take that.
Get you out of here.
That's 100% Chris Tucker. Has to
all
be.
The way. Oh, it has to. Oh God, like such a great set too, because you're about to have a great action scene where Chris Tucker finally gets upstairs. He gets the snot beat out of him because everyone's in on it. But you do get the great line. He gets kicked, and he's like, "Which one of y'all hit me?
Which one of y'all hit me?" And then at this point we get the reveal that Juntao is actually the British dude from the beginning of the movie who's friends with the Council Han.
I'm gonna get real nerdy on you too.
Okay.
I like old samurai movies for some reason. Go figure. Like I like watching anime. Of course, I'll like old samurai movies. That line though, "Which one of y'all hit me?" comes from a 1950s movie called Seven Samurai, where a drunk samurai gets hit in the head and says, "Which one of y'all hit me?"
It's the movie that inspired the Magnificent Seven.
Yep. Well, actually, you know what? I never put the two and two together, but that makes a lot of sense.
And like 60% of all westerns, like that's Japanese samurai movies inspired.
Oh,
about
yeah.
60% of all westerns in the United States.
Dude, that restaurant's real, by the way.
I believe it.
And they have a sign up that says "Rush Hour was shot here."
Oh, okay. They kind of ruin it with that, but
yeah. You get the whole thing, like you said. You understand who Juntao is at that point.
Yeah, It's that British dude, which that's kind of racist, taking a Chinese name. But I guess you want to be anonymous and run all these Chinese dudes. You got to have a Chinese name.
I just liked the. Again, sorry, we're getting political here, everybody. On the political spin, it's so funny that this is not it's not controversial, I guess, but like it's a British guy mad that he lost all his Chinese
all his toys.
And I'm like, man, that's pretty.
It's fucked
all
up.
right, cool, man.
But we get a Jackie Chan fight scene. Like he's doing crazy flips,
kicks tables.
Hilarious jokes, like physical comedy. It's
throws that gun out the window.
Yeah,
and they
jumps
pick it up
over
later.
that chair. Jumps over that chair and lands in it.
They don't make movies like that, man. Like
No.
John Wick's got great action, and I think there's a difference of like fun action and action, and Jackie Chan's fun action.
And Tom Cruise is doing like real practical stunts and like wild things, but like he's not doing what Jackie Chan's doing.
I don't think anyone ever will again. I think that's dead now, man.
Like he brought all of that from like Hong Kong cinema, where they didn't have any crash pads or knee pads or anything. Like they just
here we go, Corridor Crew. I mean, they got some solid stunts. What is that called?
I've seen several movies on there where they've talked about stunts. Like, oh, I have to see that movie. What is that?
Yeah, and I've seen several where they've been like, we don't know how he's not dead, but he's not.
Yeah, even the guys, like, there was a guy on there that had worked for him for years, and he talked about how, like, they showed a scene where Jackie Chan's rolling down a hill, and he's like, he did that like 3 times.
And there's a car chasing after him that, like...
Yeah.
Jack, again, hey, there's nothing wrong with this movie, man.
Michelle Yeoh was part of all that, too.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that a lot. It's like, yeah, she's, like, come up and done some big stuff recently, won an Oscar, but... she was in that crew, too, in Hong Kong that was doing all that. She was running on top of buses and stuff.
That whole Hong Kong film era, it's just like, I don't know. There's so much. I've not watched a ton of it. I've watched some.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah.
It's another level of stuff. But they, that whole ends, Carter gets his gun back. And they get thrown off because they didn't know the ransom drop was happening.
Yeah, that they were bringing the money to that. The FBI was bringing the money to that place to get the girl back, but of course they ruined it, and the FBI is pissed again.
And that's where Lee gets sent back to Hong Kong.
Right.
Carter, which I feel like is where Eddie Murphy was supposed to play this, steals the uniform from an airplane maintenance guy. And tells the girl that the wing's broken and needs a new alternator on the motor. And that's when you have the, my dad was a cop. My dad died doing a traffic stop.
Yeah. And his partner was dirty.
Yeah. And like, what a solid line of telling Jackie Chan, Lee. He was like, you disappointed about your dad? And he's like, no. He said, but he's like, no, make it good. You make it good. You do the right thing. But man, that was all right.
Yeah.
Look at him. My little boy's growing up.
So they go to we get to the big finale, which is in some
it's the Los Angeles Convention Center.
LA Convention Center.
Yeah.
I figured it was somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And these priceless artifacts from Hong Kong are now on like display, and they're going around the world in an exhibition, and they were taken from an illegal collector who we know is Juntao, because he says that later when he has his villain turn.
Those artifacts make for the greatest gimmick in a fight.
Oh yeah,
up.
dude! Like that was pure, like all this stuff we said is like pure Chris Tucker. That whole thing with like he's got the big thing and he's holding it up and he's taking hits and he's pushing it back and hitting. It's like that's Jackie Chan.
I'm so happy, so dang happy. But so the drop off's there. We find out the girl is in a van outside. So Chris Tucker distracts everybody, tells them there's a bomb, and gets them all out. Then we got a gunfight where the guy reveals himself finally.
Yeah.
The fight's happening. He goes just try and save the girl and finds out you can't take the vest off. I just love his solution of I'm gonna drive this van through it and I'm gonna bring her out.
He's like, got what you want.
But that whole thing of the girl yelling too, like, blow it up!
Push the goddamn button!
Push the button! It's like when he grabs that girl and pulls her back, it's like, God dang, there's nothing wrong with this movie.
Yeah. So they have the bomb. He convinced the bomb squad girl to come with him to the thing because they're going to finally save the little girl. And she does eventually get the vest off of her without exploding it. And Jackie Chan runs around there while Chris Tucker's in the middle of a gunfight. He's like, "Did you get the vest off? Yeah. I know you ain't got that bomb with
me." But Jackie Chan puts that vest on.
Yeah.
What's the point? On. What are you doing with this? There's nothing wrong with this movie. So,
FBI comes around and like they get taken out by a Juntao. That British dude goes upstairs. He knows where the FBI is for some reason. But I guess he hasn't been revealed when they had all their plans and everything. And kills all of them and tries to get up to the roof. And of course, Jackie Chan makes his way up there.
Yeah, old Spider Monkey gets up there.
Oh yeah, has a fight with him and eventually knocks him off. The bad guy falls into a pool at the bottom.
And so does all that cash. It's one of my favorite things again. It's Chris Tucker standing at the bottom, not helping, not doing anything. Oh, God, you heard me.
Thank you, God.
But so he falls. You do get the wonderful Chris Tucker comment when he kills, I can't remember the guy's name, the minor bad guy. Wipe yourself off, you're dead.
Oh yeah, because he has a callback from because the blonde-headed Chinese guy,
Sang is his name.
Sang tosses him a rag when he's bleeding in the restaurant earlier, and then Chris Tucker ends up shooting him, and then tosses a rag on him and says, "Wipe yourself off, you dead." That's kind of a weak line, but fair enough.
I just realized that guy's in X-Men. The Last Stand.
He plays the Spike guy.
Yeah, but he's credited as Kid Omega.
He's also in the Eternals ABC show from several years ago.
Oh shoot, that's the guy from Lost.
Yeah, he's the.
I didn't realize that remotely until just now.
He's the one in Eternals that can see the future, but as soon as he gets to Earth, he trips on a rock and falls off a waterfall. That's the writing of that show.
All right. I got nothing good to say, dude. I got nothing.
There's nothing good about that show. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's the same guy. It's the hair that throws me off. But
so Jackie Chan, of course, he's slipping. Chris Tucker goes and runs and grabs like a long flag or whatever that is. And
I'm gonna ask you straight up. Yeah. Did he do that stunt with no harness or anything else?
It looks like it.
Because I think he did. I don't think there was any.
I think the only harness there was one that dropped him from up top.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that was Jackie Chan the whole time.
Oh yeah, of course it was.
Yeah. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with this movie.
That's it. Girl saved. Back at home.
Carter gets a vacation from them, and the FBI wants to hire him, and he tells him to go away because he's LAPD through and through.
And shove it up your ass.
I love. There's a bad ADR bit where no one talks when he's walking away. But it's supposed to be one of the FBI agents, and they goes, "Bitch." Yeah. No one said it. And I was like, what?
Why did you put that in there? It's so stupid. But
dude, I'm gonna get hard on this. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go hard on this. It's like a 9.3.
It's a good solid 9 for me. It's just fun.
The one thing I didn't, which normally I do, the music in this movie is solid. I mean, it is perfect.
Yeah.
Somebody did this movie to the beats of the action so well. But
just a fun movie all around. I don't remember much about the other two, but we'll see in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember enjoying the second one for sure. The third one I can't fully remember.
I couldn't tell you what happened in that third one. Like,
Mm-mm.
so that's Rush Hour. Good movie.
Yep. I think I vindicated myself now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a random throwaway of Rush Hour last week, so I think you can forgive me for Sky Captain. I think
Nope,
I've
never
earned
will. It's time to move on to what we watching, what we reading. What we
I just
doing?
finished Silo.
Ooh, what'd you think?
Pretty good. I think I'm going to buy the books.
What's in that server room?
Wait, am I supposed to know, actually?
No, I was just guessing. Like, I want to know what your opinion, because like when she starts to because he runs into that server room, and then immediately the spoilers for Silo, by the way, if you're still listening.
Yeah. If you're still listening,
that projected,
okay.
that projected reality in her visor goes away as soon as he opens that server room door.
I think that server room is a connection to all the other bunkers.
Oh,
and I think
absolutely, because the key with the number
19.
on it was lighting up.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going down. But yeah, I was pleasantly shocked of that. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not green.
And I love that detail at the end of the tape where she goes to swap out tape.
Oh God, yeah.
Somebody goes to swap out tape with that lady that lives in the down deep, and they use that tape on her, so like the air doesn't get to her and poison her.
I was pumped. I didn't expect the air to be actually bad. I told Logan in the first one, I went, when they put that mask on them, they're poisoning them somehow. The air's fine, but turns out,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, but the whole tape thing, like they emphasized a lot. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But when they started taping her up, I was like, oh,
yeah,
that lady makes the best tape.
Such a solid show, man. I was pleasantly surprised with how good it was.
Yeah, and then she walks out and there's other silos. I was like, of course, there's other silos.
Yeah, which I need more time. I don't have time to read, but I'm going to read those books.
Yeah,
and I've already read a little bit of spoiler stuff. So
I want to get the audiobooks.
I might do that. I might try that out.
That's the only. I can't sit down and read a book. I have to listen to it. But
if you do that, are you going to go from the start?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was debating. I know there's differences.
I think it's the order is wool, something and something. I can't remember. But that the author is like an executive producer on the show, I think.
Wool, dust, shift.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just laughed. It's like, even in the apocalypse, there's an IT department.
Yeah, and I knew they were evil somehow. I just knew. You can't trust these nerds. There's no way.
I was like, Rashida Jones goes to a work order in the first episode. I'm like, what the I don't want to see my job.
Yeah, I was really bummed out, and I think they even put a ticket in.
Yeah, I'm like, God. Did you put a ticket in? I'm like, I don't want to see what I do on a daily basis.
No. Not what I've been watching, but I'm going to watch it, and I'm hoping I'm not going to regret it. One Piece comes out tomorrow.
I'll have to wait and see what you say.
I'll let you know. And for me, like, I loved...
I hadn't watched any of the trailers, so...
Don't, because they're not good. Okay. They're... Actually, I don't know. Like, so I watched 600 episodes of the cartoon.
Jesus.
And there's 1,000 something of them.
I would never get through that.
It was the perfect running in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, my deal is, like, I need something I can watch a lot of and zone out. No nudity. Nothing too weird. Because I watched...
So anime was the best way to go.
Yeah, that's for when I was like, well, this anime has got too many episodes. And it's in Japanese, so I'm going to read subtitles. So I'm even more concentrated on, like, I'm not running, I'm just reading this.
Oh, you're a subtitle dubs guy?
They run out. They're not, dubs aren't caught up to it.
Ah, gotcha.
So I did dubs as long as I could. So I don't know. The guy that made that series is very celebrated. I really like his work.
Okay.
He kind of signed off on it. So I'm optimistic. I'm trying to be more optimistic about it.
It's about pirates, right? Or like sailors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a like an alternate world of there's a lot more sea.
Cool.
and it's pirate based. So it's a pirate adventure show
I'll wait to see.
with special powers. Yeah, the whole One Piece is a pirate named like Jolly B. Roger. He was the best pirate in the world. He had a fortune of money and treasure, and he got hung, but he hid his treasure somewhere, so everyone's trying to find it.
Okay, so
That's the premise.
It's Treasure Island.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'll go with that.
Yeah.
There's 600 episodes. It's been about. I've watched 600. There's 5,000 different.
and Netflix is going to condense the first season to like 8 probably or 10.
Yeah, that's watching the trailers. I'm like, all right, that's in the 3rd season. You guys have 10 episodes.
They've probably crammed a bunch of stuff together, like from different
which is
seasons.
fun. I mean, there's a lot of fluff in that show that you can.
There's a lot that they could probably trim out.
Well, what I'm disappointed at, I haven't looked at it, but there's a talking reindeer, a little short talking reindeer. I don't know if he's in the show yet, and that's the only thing I'm like, all right, I got to see this guy, then I'm cool. But there's my nerd rant. What you up to, man? What you been watching?
Like I said, with the quote unquote hurricane we've had here today, I got to leave work early, and I watched The Flash this afternoon.
You have not talked me into watching it yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip for now.
It's just there's good stuff and not so good stuff. Mainly the puppeting of dead CGI actors that I'm not thrilled with.
Yeah,
like you could have just used footage. You could have just used footage, but you made these demonic little PS2 graphic versions of them and moved them around, and
that's where CG and holograms get weird. Like I remember when the Tupac hologram came out, everyone lost their mind.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, they did this tastefully, but pretty soon someone's going to use that weird.
Yep, somebody's going to be weird with that. I'm going to watch Fast X tonight.
Yeah, let me know how that is.
That was available to rent today, so I was like, ooh. I'll watch Jason Momoa be a crazy person.
Pretty sure the Rush Hour series goes off Netflix September 1st.
I'll find it somewhere.
I know. I just laughed. I went, of course, we picked this and it's gone. But yeah, let me know how Fast X is. It's got to be great.
When I was watching Rush Hour last night, he's like, last day to watch this, September 1st. I was like, okay, what about the other two?
Hopefully later.
Yeah. What else? Ooh, I bought Into the Spider-Verse, but I haven't seen it yet. So
there's a lot of people mad at that movie now with the re-edits on their
I've heard about release. It's like, who cares?
Who cares? Yeah. You changed one line. Who gives a crap? There was 5 different versions of the movie.
Yeah. And they came up with a definitive one for you nerds that wouldn't shut up about it.
I don't know, man. These nerds, they're going to ruin everything good.
I have successfully not heard anything about that movie, about the storyline of what happens. I have an idea of what happens.
Oh,
but
I didn't realize you hadn't seen it yet.
Hadn't seen it yet at all.
It's great. It's great, so I'm going to say.
Yeah. I expect no less. So I guess that's it for this week. Next week is Rush Hour 2. They go to China or Hong Kong.
Yeah, we're going to get some massages, baby.
Oh, yeah. If you have a suggestion for a movie we should do, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Second Take Movies. Jake, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, definitely. Crap your pants.
Crap your pants as always, and we'll see you next week.